As you guys can probably tell, we kind of got a new setup going on here. Things have been moving around the house, and a little bit of a change. This is gonna be the regular location, and I hope you guys are okay with it. Look, I understand the brown background. I get that. That'll be hopefully changing very, very soon. But again, as of right now, this is what the setup is going to look like. If you guys are okay with that, perfect. Let me know in the comments what your guys' opinion is on it. But now let's get to this contest here today. The Toronto Raptors absolutely manhandle the Philadelphia 76ers, crushing them. A franchise record 36-point victory. That is incredible for the Toronto Raptors. 125-89. And it wasn't just Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi has 21 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 assists on 7 of 16 shooting. He gets 7 of 8 from the line. He goes 0 of 4 from 3. He gets a couple steals in the ball game. But other than that, Kawhi, it wasn't Kawhi's best performance here in the playoffs. But it was the supporting cast that got the job done for the Toronto Raptors. You saw Pascal Siakam. So we heard earlier in the game that the calf wasn't really the issue. It was kind of like a hamstring thing now. We're like, okay, maybe the issue is traveling upwards now. But he's still playing. And he was awesome. Pascal, 25 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists on 7 of 19 shooting, 9 of 10 from the line, 2 of 7 from 3, gets a couple steals and a block in the game, plus 35 for Pascal. Incredible. Now, we'll get to the other players in a second here, but let's just get to this ball game as a whole. First quarter, kind of a back-and-forth contest. Raptors up 1 at the end of the first quarter. And in the second, the Raptors just straight up dominate. 37-17. The defense, incredible. The offense, ball humming like crazy, knocking down their shots, making the 76ers look silly. Plus 20 in the second quarter, and the Raptors are up by 21 at the half. And just before the first half even finishes, Kawhi Leonard drives and absolutely throws down a hammer between two 76ers. Oh boy, big throw down there for Kawhi. And that was just one of a couple big throwdowns in the game. Now, in the third quarter, the Raptors start out sluggish and just don't really start the third quarter strong. The 76ers actually come out of the game in the third quarter on a 10-2 run, and it's a 13-point ball game. And then I'm like, okay, Nick Nurse, timeout. Out of that timeout, the Raptors come out 10-0 run. They're back up 20 plus, and they're just on their way to a victory from there. Big timeout from Nick Nurse. Great job by the team. Great job by the coaching staff, and an amazing job by the Toronto Raptors there today. Even with the 10-2 start to the quarter for the 76ers, Raptors still win that third quarter 28-27, including Kawhi Leonard putting Joel Embiid, I wouldn't say on a poster, but he more or less put him on an airplane back home to Philly because, he threw it down over Joel Embiid is sick. Yeah, well, you know what else is you know what his sickness is? Contagious. You see him walking into the building today, just, ready to play a game. And the way he played, Joel Embiid was awful. 8 turnovers for Joel Embiid. Doesn't get a double-double. Again, what does he have? 13.6 rebounds. Marc Gasol outschools him again. And the funny thing about that whole airplane thing, was just, he had it. Guys, I don't know if I told you this. I think I said it on the podcast with Evan. We talked about it, and Joel Embiid coming into this series had not had a double-double since January 19th against the Oklahoma City Thunder. In every single game after that, including the round 1 matchup against the Brooklyn Nets, he gets a double-double in every single game. And so far, in this series against the Toronto Raptors, he has a double-double in One game. And in that game, he decides to be very stupid and just starts to start dancing and, going on the airplane and the windmill dunk and just being stupid. And then the 2 games after that, he's been awful, very quiet, and a cancer to that locker room. I mean, it's just awful to see out there. You heard Shaq and you heard Charles Barkley say it today on TNT. You're seeing them say how, man, he's looking in if that's the way you're going to walk into a big pivotal game 5 of a series, might as well not even play. It's brutal. But as a Raptor fan, I'm like, he wants to walk in like that, fine by me. You know what that tells me? He ain't ready to play. He ain't ready to ball. Pascal's out there with a bung calf and a bung hamstring, and he's ready to drop 25 on them. Incredible job by the Raptors. You go out in the fourth quarter. You're up by 22, or whatever the heck the number. I think it's 22 going into the fourth quarter. And you just take care of business. Raptors outscore the 76ers 33-19 in the fourth quarter. So even though you didn't have your starters barely out there at all there in the fourth quarter, you still dominate and you still crush them by 14 in the fourth quarter. Domination. Yes, Kawhi Leonard did not have his best game. But we've kind of talked about it all series long. Well, Kawhi did this. Wow. But we want to see the next man up. We've been hearing that mentality for quite a while now, but we haven't seen it. Today, we saw it. You saw Serge Ibaka take an elbow from Kawhi himself. Goes to the locker room, gets 3 stitches. They put a small bandage on his forehead, and you see when he comes back, there's a giant lump kind of poking this bandage out. They have to put a bigger bandage on his head, and he comes right into the game and knocks down a shot. Gets Joel Embiid on the pump fake and then drives and throws it down. This Raptor team is special. Marc Gasol had 11 points in the game, 4 of 6 shooting. He knocked down 3 of 5 from 3, 5 rebounds, 3 assists in the ball game today, a couple steals in the game, plus 13 on the floor. Kyle Lowry was incredible for the second consecutive game. 19 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists on 5 of 9 shooting, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, 2 of 5 from 3, a steal, a block, and a plus 31 for Kyle Lowry. And that 4-point play for Kyle Lowry is just damn well beautiful. I mean, my goodness. Look, Kyle Lowry today was, what we've learned in the last couple games with Kyle is that if he comes out of the gate firing, you saw it today, his first shot he took was a 3, and he knocked it down. And that was kind of the domino effect for Kyle Lowry as the game went along. He shot over 50%. He knocked down a couple threes. He played great defense. He was great from the free throw line. He got everybody else involved. He was awesome. Awesome job by Kyle Lowry. And Danny Green has not really been an X factor in this. Look, in the last game he was great, but he didn't shoot the ball well. He was good from the free throw line, but he didn't shoot the ball very well. Today, both. He did an incredible job on both sides of the basketball. 17 points, 5 rebounds, 5 of 8 shooting, 2 of 2 from the line, 5 of 7 from 3. Danny Green knocks down 5 threes, and he gets 3 steals, plus 16. Oh, baby, that's beautiful. And Serge Ibaka gets 10 points in the ball game, 4 of 7 from the field, 2 of 3 from the line, and he was a plus 27 while he was on the floor. This Raptor team today, we've talked about it. We actually heard it today from, I want to say Chris Carter, I think it was, who said that if the Raptors win today and go on to the NBA Finals, would not be surprised if Kawhi Leonard re-signs. We also heard today that the interest for Kawhi Leonard is growing. I mean, I don't know who the heck heard this, but I don't really care right now. Look, I love Kawhi Leonard and I want this guy back for years to come, but we're in a damn playoff run right now. I don't think he's talking about next year. Beautiful. I mean, watching the Raptors come out today and play a tight first quarter, and it wasn't, no team really had an edge, and watching that second quarter take fold and flip a switch, and the Raptors played incredible. Excuse me, guys. It was remarkable to watch. The biggest playoff victory, margin-wise, for the Toronto Raptors in franchise history. At one point, they had the biggest lead in franchise history, 40. They had a 40-point lead. All right, I'm good now. There we go. But it wasn't just, the team shooting the ball well, because ideally, they shot 49% from the field, 40% from three. They shot the ball pretty well. But it was also, and we've talked about it over and over again, when the Raptors get stops at their end of the court, they're one of the best teams at running the floor and getting the fast break. The Raptors outscored the 76ers 33-8 in fast break opportunities. That tells you right there how dominant this team was. When you get stops and you make shots, you're going to win a lot of games. And the 76ers had 19 turnovers in the ball game today. 8 from Joel Embiid himself. He was atrocious. The Raptors, 10. Points in the paint, Raptors at +6. Second chance points, you don't see this too often. Raptors +10. And in the rebounding category, the Raptors were +5, 42-37, and they were +1 in the offensive glass. This team, not only did they shoot the ball very well, they did so well in every aspect of the game. They moved the ball, they took care of the basketball in limiting turnovers. They only had 10 in the game. How many assists did they have? 22, not a bad number. And you make your shots and you out-rebound them. The Raptors just played the better ball game today. Now, with this win under our belt now, our focus turns to Game 6 in Philly on Thursday night. We can enjoy this win, because I am. But on Thursday at 8 p.m., the Raptors are in Philly taking on the 76ers for Game 6. Look, was today great? Was the big shot from Kawhi in Game 4 great? Yeah, it is. But this series ain't over. I know we can talk about moral victory, and we can talk about this team. I guess confidence-wise, the 76ers really aren't there right now. But they weren't there after Game 1 against the Raptors. And they came back and won Games 2 and 3. This series ain't over. In my eyes, as much as I would love to win at home, win Game 6, end this damn series, and move on to the conference finals. And the Raptors know that. Kawhi knows that. Nick Nurse knows it. But you know what you're going to get in Game 6? You're going to get the best punch from the Philadelphia 76ers. You just know it's going to happen. So the Raptors can come out in the first quarter and kind of hang in there, kind of like what they were doing today. They might get in the driver's seat pretty quickly. But we're going to have to wait and see how all that plays out, all right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed this video, and you guys enjoyed the Game 5 victory there tonight. Smack that like button to appreciate that. Also, if you enjoyed those Kawhi dunks, because I was out of my seat pretty damn quick when those two dunks got thrown down. They were electric. He was incredible, even though he wasn't shooting the ball well. The ball movement, he was passing. Money. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this game. Comment down below everything you thought about the game, the video. Who is your MVP from tonight's ball game? Would you give it to Lowry? Would you give it to Kawhi? Would you give it to P. Skills? Pascal Siakam was incredible. Would you give it to Danny Green, who had 3 steals and knocked down 5 threes and had 17 points? Who's your MVP in the ball game? I mean, you guys, look, as much as I just talked about a ton of all these other guys and stuff, Fred VanVleet made a couple very subtle plays that were great. Yes, he was only 2 of 5 shooting. And where is he on the floor? He was a +11 on the floor, but ideally almost all the Raptors were plus players. But Fred VanVleet made a 3, and the Scotiabank Arena erupted. You know why? Because you wanted to see the guy do well. And then he gets a steal against Joel Embiid, leading to a dunk from Kawhi. It's those small things, people. You love it. Powell had 7 off the bench on 3 of 6 shooting. Ibaka had 10 off the bench. Great job by the Toronto Raptors there tonight. We hear your guys' thoughts on this game, the video, everything about this team. And Evan and I will talk to you guys podcast edition there on Thursday afternoon. Link is in the description for the podcast channel. Excuse me. And for the podcast itself on iTunes. Twitter is also down below. Follow up, send me a DM. I do like great stuff. And I'll talk to you guys Blue Jays edition very shortly as they lost 3-0 to the Minnesota Twins again. And we'll talk about that in a second here. And as for the Raptors, Game 6, Eastern Conference semifinals. I'm sorry, guys. Still getting over this cold here. 8 p.m. tip-off there in Philly on Thursday night. Raptors look to close out the series and move on to the conference finals. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you guys then.